So there you go, oh, can't make a wife out of a hoe, oh, I'll never find the words to say I'm sorry, but I'm scared.
Alright, so today I've come up with a dual review, sort of. Now, the reason I wanted to do this is because I have two aircraft. Same aircraft, 737-800 Boeing. Both are Singapore Airlines, but one is 9V MGA and the other is MGK. Now, if you've been following the now if you know what these releases are, then good for you. But if you're not, one is a Phoenix release, the other is a Panda release shown by my blade. But if you cannot, Phoenix, Panda. Now, obviously, different manufacturers will have different molds. Now, I'm gonna be comparing them. Now, I have hinted about the Panda, this one, in my previous video, the Garuda. So, yeah, but I didn't specify what airline. You may be guessing what other modes. This is the other mode I'm gonna use to sort of differentiate. So, alright, I'm gonna add a timestamp for this episode because it's too dry, for both. So, I'm gonna start off with the Phoenix one, which is much easier. The Panda, I'll put it to the side first, and we'll review it later. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so welcome to the Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix is a box much smaller than the Panda if you'd compare it. I would say better for storage purposes, but other than that, yeah, the box I don't really find any difference. Compared to the Panda one, we're gonna put a side-by-side comparison. The Panda is very standardized, across all its making. You see, the Panda, it's always gonna be, if the Boeing is gonna be a Boeing box, and if it's gonna be a 737, it's always gonna be the same box. Alright, just that the sticker below it, oh my, it's different. Then, because it's a sticker, you can see the coloration differences. Then they always adapt the sticker. Other than that, even still, the background's also the same. So if you want another, wait until I get to the Panda for the real one. As for Phoenix, that was just for side-by-side comparison. You can see it's much more detailed. You've got the digitalized drawing with the Singapore Airlines logo. And like I've shown just now, 9V MGA, 1/400 scale. 9V is Singapore registry. MGA is the first aircraft from Silk Air, incorporated to Singapore Airlines fleet, and was also the first 737-800 from Silk Air. Now, the reason why Singapore Airlines has 737-800s and 737 MAX 8s being painted into their colors is because Silk Air is owned by Singapore Airlines, and Singapore Airlines is want to standardize its operations by merging Silk Air in. Alright, now this similar case has happened with Cathay Dragon and one Cathay Pacific. Okay? Yep, I'll get a review on one of their planes merged fleets examples soon. Now we're gonna go into the side boxes. So I'm gonna start from right side, top, left, bottom, here, and then back side. Right? So the front I've already said. So we're gonna go to the right side. Digitalized drawing, 737-800. You have that golden sheet line that is supposed to be it's supposed to be a gold trim sheet line, but it's orange here for the Singapore Airlines. And then on the same side, just a different way of the stripes, and you can actually of the sheet it became a stripe, and you can see here there's a hint of like a sort of a watermark Singapore Airlines logo, if you can see it. Yeah. Then if you went on to the left side, it's the same, and then at the bottom, the typical hazardous warning and barcode signs. Now if you go to the back, now as with any Phoenix models, there always be on the back side a backdrop of the city they are country or city they are operating from, if you've seen the other videos. If it's a special living, obviously what will be the specialness. And so this one is the Singapore landscape. You've got the Singapore flag at the back, Marina Bay Sands overlooking the Kallang skyline, and then there's a Singapore Airlines logo. Now obviously there's trademark and 9V MGA 1/400 scale. So let's get into the boxing. Remember, right side's the gentleman. Alright, so it's unboxing time. Now we're gonna flip it to its side and we're gonna begin with our unboxing. Now let me just shift the cam. Alright, now as for me, my dictation is to open from right side. So let's do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my knife in, and then we're gonna flick it open. I'm just gonna show it with my hand because I've known you've seen it many times, so I don't want to bore you guys with how I open the box. Now that we've got it open, alright, now we're gonna remove it. Now obviously we're gonna take it out of its plastic case, and voila, it's such a beauty. Box will be kept. Alright, so yeah, now here it is. What a showstopper it is. So now obviously we're gonna remove the top, the plastic, which I've seen is here on the top side. So we're gonna do that. Oh wait, forgot. Comes in my trusty mat. There she is. Oh, wrong side. There you go. Now obviously I'm gonna take it out from the bottom because I know that the wrapping's on top. There you go. And voila, it's out. Alright, now let's look in depth at the model. Alright. Now that's there. Let's get a quick zoom and see what it's like. Isn't she a beauty? Alright, so moving on to the model itself. Now, I'm gonna focus on certain areas. First, I want to scrutinize. I'm gonna give the criticism first. So, again, as with the Garuda, the wheel arch is covered. It's a bit too low again. Some of the things I might reiterate. Alright, so this is the typical, the norm, the whatnot. Now this is the heavy scrutiny I'm gonna put this aircraft through. Is the coloring. Now, yes, you can see the Singapore Airlines colors is quite small. But if you look at it from my perspective, my gold doesn't look gold. Alright, the gold that I'm seeing is more of a pale brown gold, something that doesn't reflect true gold. Alright, other than that, no, everything is good. If you want to know more about the mode itself, go check out the Garuda 737 video. But other than that, no. Alright, so Singapore Airlines, you've got the star lines nice over here, very detailed. You can see the cheat line and everything, escape slides over here. Oh, sorry. You've got escape slides over here. You've got a big spoiler over here, and then you've got the special tail, and then it's tail heaviness. Then if I can show you now, because the Garuda was a singular color, a tail bump or a skid bump. This is to prevent, because the aircraft was so long that they had to install this. In the rear, so long at the rear, they had to install this sort of bumper. In order to make sure that it doesn't fall off the run, it doesn't scrape the runway, and it has to be checked every few flights and all, just to make sure there aren't any signs of it. Now, obviously, antennae and all I've already said in the Garuda video, so I won't touch on it even more. So, yep, that is the Phoenix model 9VMGA. Now we're gonna move on to the Panda model. Alright, so this is the Panda version. Now obviously I've done the front, left, top, right, bottom, and back side. Now we're gonna touch on the left side. Boeing logo, top side, digitalized drawing sticker, registration, and model details. No product number, another Boeing logo, the full Boeing logo, same thing as the top, and then a 737 drawing, which I don't know where they got them from, because I don't know why, but I can see all these wavy marks from the light, which is a bit weird. But yeah, then you know, Panda. Now, if you ask me, Panda, thought I did review them, the ARJ21. Yep. So this is another one. I've seen reviews that their Mo is incredible. So let's see if that is really credible. So I'm gonna flip it down and do the unboxing again. Oh yeah, sure. Left, right side, and then flip and slit. Just to give you a show, to make sure that I am actually doing this and this is not cut or anything. Now we look in the inside. Now I'm just gonna take out the plastic wrappers here. Now I'm gonna show you that, you know, this one doesn't have actually any markings. Right, so the configuration you just see me put in was the one done by Panda. And actually, you know, most models that don't have such you know, markings over here or something on the side of the boxes, I'll generally, even for myself, I'll place it facing top right, cause it visually looks nicer than top left. Okay? Alright, so this one, Panda has included plastic wrappings on the top and on the bottom, so I'm gonna have to unbox it wherever it's smaller at, so which is at the top. It's much shorter at the top. So, although to be honest, Panda, I think this would be much of a hassle installing that many plastic wraps. You know, it would be much of a hassle for everyone to remember. Oh, you know, if I want to sell off, you know, where's the plastic wrap? You know, where should it go? And then those really avid collectors would be like, oh my god, you placed it wrongly. You better give me a better price. You know, it's not facing well for resellers. So you can see this one is the top plastic covering. It has been vacuumed on the inside, and then this is the inside. She is a shining beauty. Let me just get my plate out. And then you'll be asking me, GC, that's gonna be other than my nickname on YouTube, when are you gonna compare them? Soon. Alright, so there's my shining beauty. Alright, so let me just prepare it. Oh yeah, to come under heavy scrutiny and also maybe more praise. Again, this is my honest review. I mean, if you got better idea of, if you think that, you know, other molds are better, or you know, which mold between the two is better, let me know in the comments below. If you prefer the Panda, just type Panda. If you prefer Phoenix, type Phoenix. But obviously, if there's too many, I can't see. So if you prefer the Panda, like and subscribe. If you like the Phoenix, subscribe to the video if you like the Panda, and subscribe and like the video if you like the Phoenix. Now, obviously, I'm gonna do a very simple scrutinization of the same problems I occurred with the Garuda. Engine clearance. Oh, bad, it can fit a whole knife too. Oh, obviously, I start touching the gear and everything. Shifts. Let's see the bottom. Oh, I'm amazed. Actually, I'm amazed at the way, you know, Panda did this more. It's not covered in any sort of resin or whatnot, and there's even a hole for the suspension. That's amazing. I can't even believe it. For myself, I mean, I'm astonished, to be honest. And then, if you look at the gold, oh my, it shines like real gold, if you know what I mean. Oh, it's beautiful. Now what I'm gonna do is look in on the gear. Look at the gear, how detailed this is. Even my camera can't even do it. But if you can crop this and zoom in and see how good this is while on 1080p on YouTube, oh my, this is much more detailed than the Phoenix. You know, you wouldn't tell these two apart unless you put them side by side. They're just too good. Oh my god. Now you can obviously see the spoilers and everything is the same. The spoiler is here, big one, and then there's escape slides. Then the logo, the cheat line, the Chris, the bird. Then obviously you've got your registration IVMGK. GK is obviously following the alphabetical order. th aircraft for Silk Air. Now obviously I'm gonna look at the bottom. Now I'm just gonna pan it here to show you the tail skid. Look at the tail skid. Is it that big? It's not that big, yes, but it shouldn't also be that big. And there's actually a bit of a tinted layer. That means it's stepped. Now in real life it's actually step 1 and then 2, so you can actually feel the stepness, it being stepped on the Panda model, which shows how good it is. Obviously I don't have a better cam. If you want to support me on Patreon, I'll get a new cam at the request of you guys if I have enough supporters on Patreon. Yeah, I know it sounds intense. Okay, so that's the Panda model. And if people have been saying that, oh, you know, the Phoenix, the angle door lining is a bit off, and everything's, you know, in Phoenix is a bit too big for me. You know, if I put it by the Panda, you know, everything just feels so small. The Phoenix done its things very big. If you look at the Panda now, everything's much smaller and more detailed, which is what I like, even though both are 1/400 scale and of similar length. Okay, now we're gonna do the comparison. And with that transition now brings us to our final. Alright, our final segment, the comparison. Now obviously the first thing you'd notice from the front, I'm doing front to back, so you can see that one is higher than the other. Now obviously the 737 is low, but can you see how low this is? I can pass the whole knife through here without even, you know, if I didn't touch the gear. This on the other hand, you know, I would have issues pushing in halfway. You know, if you actually look closely, the 737 Phoenix is on the left and the Panda is on the right, just to give you a reference. If you didn't see my earlier review of the Panda, then you wouldn't know what I was talking. You can see that the Starlines logo on the Panda is much smaller. True to scale, actually, it's not so big. Rather, the Starlines logo, it's supposed to be compared to a door about half or 1/3 the size, or quarter. So this really adds up a nice sum. You can see that the coloration of the gold, like I said, is a lot different. This one is of a more yellowish gold, which is what you will normally see like a real gold. This is more of an orangey brown gold. Now if you look via the engines, I don't think there's much of a difference. There's a darker incision on the spoilers by the Panda than the Phoenix. Then if you can see the cockpit, you can see that the cockpit here is the printing is a bit off, whereas here is very detailed to the max. Now obviously the tails, I would say that the blue. Now moving on to the tails. Oh my. Most of the time the antenna is the same, to be honest. Okay, so they're both about the same height, just to give you a sense. Right, so looking at this, you can see that the Phoenix one is actually a very strict model. Boeing's should tilt downwards like the Panda, and you can see the coloration of gold use is different. To be honest, I would say that the Panda one has a better shade of blue than the Phoenix, which is a lot darker, to be honest. Now if we flip it to the underside, if you just heard what I talked about on the Panda, good for you. But if you didn't, let me tell you now. First of all, we're gonna do the rear. Alright, the tailgate over here is very smooth. Don't know why, but it's very smooth, not for my liking. This, however, you can feel it's a bit more jagged, stepped, you know. It feels very realistic. It's stepped. You know, that means it's 1 and then 2, you know. And then if you look at the gear, here, obviously I can't hold it up, so you can, oh, if you look at the gear, this one is filled up with resin. If you can see for yourself, this is filled up with resin, and there's virtually no space for the suspension. If there was a theoretical case, it could fit in. This, on the other hand, has holes. It's not filled with resin. Alright. You know, and has a space for suspension. You know, you can see clearly. Now you can see also the lettering on the underside of the aircraft are different. Even though both are different registrations, still you can see that one is a bigger one than the other, and one is a shade of black and one is a shade of blue. Alright. If you want me to do a side-by-side comparison, because it got blurred out, here is the Phoenix one. Navy MGA in black, and this is the Panda one. Smaller Navy MGK in a shade of Singapore Airlines blue. Overall, I think that, you know, for me, I think the price difference was around was quite minimal. So if you could get your hands on it, I would suggest that you'd rather get the Panda one than the Phoenix one. You know, I've seen the Phoenix. They are also the Navy MGA, although I was too late to collect it. I didn't get it in time. But the MGK is also nice. To be honest, if you want detail, you know, with a slightly higher price, you will get the Panda. If you want cheap, quality slightly down, then you've got the Phoenix for you. Like I said, Panda is your cheap, good quality brand. NG is your, you know, and Phoenix is more of your cheap, average quality brand. I will do a future review on, you know, what manufacturer is known for, you know. But overall, this is my dual review of the Singapore Airlines 737-800 Panda 9 Vector MGK Phoenix 9 Vector MGA. If you want both registration and product code, link in the description. And if you want to know how to support me on Patreon to get me a better high quality recorder, camera, and also to support me for all these planes, follow me on Patreon, link in the description. Alright, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!